प्रेजेंटेड बाय ईबिक्स कैश, हर खुशी के लिए काफी है।
Hello and welcome to the Business Today show. I'm your host Udayan Mukherjee. In this show, over the last few episodes, we've been talking to a whole host of entrepreneurs, some local, some global, many of them pertaining to the technology space because that's where the buzz is. But my guest today has little to do with technology in terms of digital technology, but everything to do with metals and mining. In fact, he's one of the world's largest mining entrepreneurs. He didn't start off that way, but he was a very small scrap trader at one point, 25 years ago. But over the last 2 decades, after acquisition, he's now not only a big billionaire himself, but also one of the most successful owners of mining companies in the world. It's Anil Agarwal of Vedanta. Anil, it's good to see you and thank you very much for joining me on the show today.
Oh, wonderful. Always look forward to meeting you. Great.
I want to start by asking you about how you see yourself being remembered, Anil, because while you're not done with your career, you're coming towards the end of it, maybe another 10, 12 years to go. And, you know, there are very different ways of, very different kinds of reaction that we hear when your name is mentioned. For some, you're this ultimate rags to riches story who came from nowhere with nothing and became this huge global tycoon and is one of the richest men in India and owner of such a huge mining enterprise. To many, you are a very ruthless and rapacious mining baron who is an enemy of the environment. How would you like to be remembered, Anil? What do you think will be your true legacy when you hang up your boots?
I remember when I landed, I was 19 years old at Whitty Station. The steel box, old time used to have a steel box and a bedding, which you roll on 3 tire. And I came from Patna to Bombay, came out of the Whitty Station. I have seen this picture in the movie hall, but seeing this in front of me, I was amazed and immediately pray. We all be Biharis. We are typical Biharis, born, brought up in Bihar. We start praying to Hanumanji or to our Lord to say, look, keep me here. I have to make my living. At that point of time, it was only bread and butter. How can I move forward and establish myself on day to day? After a few years, I had a small place of 370 square feet where after spending 2 years, 3 years, I got this place where my wife and my child used to stay. So it's amazing how you evolve and revolve. For me, as I move forward, for me, Bihar is completely in print. As you have said, every time I had no background, I had no godfather, I don't know anybody. And every time I remember last 6, 7 years, just 10 years back, they wanted to give me for 6 years all the time businessman of the award, businessman of the year award. And every time I could see the influential people come forward and they get it. And when my time came, Manmohan Singh put a hand on my shoulder and given me that award. And I said, today I'm going to tell my mother. Every time I go, and she says, बेटा तुम वो अवार्ड लाने वाला था, क्या हुआ? आज मैं उनको बोलूंगा मेरे को अवार्ड मिला है.
The second part of my question was, what about all these controversies that you keep getting dogged by, whether it's Niyamgiri one time or Thoothukudi at another time or Sessagoa? How do you shake off this image that you have, that you don't care enough about the environment, that you are doing it in a very ruthless manner, in a rapacious manner, and this thing seems to stick with you every time. So how do you shake off this kind of an image that you have yourself and Vedanta does?
When I go in the world market, I think I'm the best ESG man. We got the Dow Jones #1 award in saving the water. Hindustan Zinc. It is our very unfortunate thing where I have said people don't want India to produce. We have the largest deposit of oil and gas, gold, silver. They will never allow us to produce unless people like us who take bullet on the chest and say we are going to do it in a most environmental friendly manner. It is who I stand and produce largest aluminum in spite of being Niyamgiri being attacked. I can tell you, I live in London. Church of England, the head of Church of England has come and told me, I'm going to India. And he called me from there that I don't find any environmental flout. And immediately he changes on the screen saying that our mountain has been destroyed, our people has given out of the job. So this is you and me have to do it. We have to produce. We cannot keep importing, whether it's a gold, oil and gas, fertilizer, anything uranium, anything electronic, anything you talk about, 70% of our money. I'm really looking forward. Today, the world is looking, whether it's a oil company, whether it's an electronic company, whether it's a BHP, Rio, everybody wants to come and produce in India. I'm a small man. People can throw stone on me, but people like them are so eager. We cannot survive unless we have 50% of our requirement which we produce.
Is Vedanta ready to adopt that kind of attitude, this kind of a marked tilt to the green, to do the kind of decarbonization that everybody is talking about? Do you think you can manage that, given your track record and your history, this kind of adherence to environmental rules?
I think you are too much focusing on it. You have to come and see that highest today we produce the maximum green metal, because metal is very, very important for whether you make a phone, whether you make an electric car, or you make a renewable energy. Everything requires 5 times more metal. We in our holy book, it is written 5,000 years back how we were conscious of protecting our environment, and we follow the legacy. When I listed the company in London, it was FTSE 100 company. FTSE 100 company. I listed at $2 billion. It went up to $14-15 billion. They believe that I believe. I'm talking internationally. You're talking about internationally. I'm talking about internationally. And it is in black and white. FTSE 100 company, a mining company, everybody make money out of us. There will never be a default. It is very unfortunate when the Chinese, when the other country does not want India to produce copper. It is very unfortunate that place like Goa, we lost $30-40 billion when we acquired from the Japanese company who run the companies for 45 years, Italian, and we bought from them. What kind of environment we have created? We've increased production, we did this exploration and everything. So you can't. This is a simple person from Bihar want to do. The whole world want to follow me. Entire youth want to follow me. We have the highest demand for the people to join our company. We have not a single charge or of environment in black and white on our company. Not a single.
The takeover expert that you are going out all out to buy BPCL. Can you just give me a little bit of clarity on what your thoughts are that, because you did buy Cairn a few years back. And should we see you as the front runner to acquire BPCL? Do you have the resources to go out and make a credible bid for it?
As far as the credibility is concerned, everybody wants to give me the money. Trust me. Everybody wants to give me the money. As far as the BPCL is concerned, I have a shop which I open morning to evening in my line. I only work in my business. That the work. When the water come on the mountain, if it flows in the one direction, it become a river. If it goes in a 10 direction, it remain there. So for me, I have one goal. I believe that BPCL opportunity is there. I have not closed it. I am just doing the due diligence. I'm looking whether my crude can match to their refinery so I can add value.
So you're sure that you'll be able to cobble up the finances to go for a BPCL bid?
At the moment, we are in due diligence. I've created $10 billion fund. The whole world is coming to put money into that fund. Money will never be a constraint. It is my will whether I want to go for it or not. I may not go for it once I do the due diligence because I have to address ESG. I have to address so many other factors.
Let me go back to the point about decarbonization that I was speaking to you earlier about. A lot of people feel that for mining companies like yours, it could either be a threat, the fact that the world is turning green, or it could be an opportunity because all this new green infrastructure which has to be put up, new batteries, new cars, new green infra will require a huge amount of metals, and it may actually spark off a commodity super cycle. How do you see it?
Exactly what you said. It is a time, there's not what India geology is a world-class geology because we have not did the exploration. We have huge reserve. Normally, 10% exploration happen. India do less than 2%. And this is the time where you built all this for making decarbonization program, whether it's a electric car, as I said, or anything. We have to very conscious that it has to be zero carbonization. On the basis of that, you make your plan. Existing today also our company is completely committed.
Do you think we are in the midst of a commodity super cycle, Anil, today?
Absolutely. It is just a starting. Just wait how important, and I'm worried about our draining out our foreign exchange, our hard-earned money to buy these commodities.
You spoke a while back about delisting and relisting in London. Even in India, you tried a few years back to delist Vedanta, the company. It did not work out. Then you tried a buyback program, and that has also not met with the kind of success that you might have wanted. Why are these moves backfiring, Anil? Are you not offering the right price for investors? Or are investors more optimistic about Vedanta and commodity prospects and therefore they don't want to tender those shares? Why do you think these attempts have failed on your part?
My shareholder loves me. When we have AGM and when we talk to them, 100% people says, we want to be with you. For us, it was important because we created the company. We don't have a convertibility program in India. We have taken equity and debt on the London company and put it to buy Hindustan Zinc, Balco, Sesa Cairn. We started with 10,000 ton aluminium. Today, you will not believe we are producing 220,000 ton of aluminium, going to produce 3 million ton of aluminium in 2 years' time. So this kind of money can only come from overseas. So we always thought that we can buy back this, make the best, offer the best price. But I'm very pleased. Whatever we have, we had 50% holding earlier. Today we have over 66%. That's a good good indication, good enough, and it gives a lot of confidence to the public that we are there.
What's your succession plan, Anil? You've been on record saying that Vedanta will not go to the family. But have you spoken to your children about it, your son and your daughter? What do they have in mind? I mean, who will run Vedanta? What will happen to your family? And how much of a part of Vedanta would they be going forward after your retirement?
Yeah, they are so smart. They will create another Vedanta if they wish. My daughter is activist. She runs the largest animal welfare program. She has the elephant, the stray dog. If you go to her house, I started moving. How can you help us in ESG program? And she's the one. We could rope her in for this. My son-in-law, he's a South Indian boy, and he runs the technology company. My son run a small boutique of a copper manufacturing, scrap recycling, and I want them to go through the hard way. And you will see, they're my blood. They will do very well, whatever they want to do it. But Vedanta is company. If you have ever seen who built America, they will say not politician. They will say 5 industrialists who built America, but in their lifetime, they have given back all their wealth for the good purpose. That is my dream. We all live for the dream. So this is how I'm looking at.
I was going to ask you when you plan to hang up your boots, Anil. Have you thought of retirement or life post-retirement?
You know, in Ramayana, there is a verse which says, Janam Maran, Hani Labh, Jas Abjas has kept ऊपर वाले ने अपने हाथ में रखा है. So why should I decide? I would like to die with the boots on, whether in the business or whether I definitely want to work for the people. Whenever the time comes, very simple, I'll just walk off and come to the public life. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, their whole world is mine. I live in America, I live in London, I didn't speak a word of English. I've been respected very well. People pour in the money to me. I've been a star everywhere. I've been very happy. Still, I remain very low profile. So I have no worry at all. I only know that I have an ambition only towards my country. And I will definitely want to go into the public life whenever is the right time. To be something like you, where I can come to the public, motivate the people, make our youngster, and make our country great. Because it has all the potential. And today's government is doing a phenomenal job. Prime Minister also, if you see the same thing.
Anil, I'll thank you on that note. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
That was Anil Agarwal of Vedanta, and that's the Business Today show for this week. I will see you again next weekend with another outstanding individual from the world of business. Till then, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe.